See if this thing is streaming. Watch the hotel internet be better than my internet at home.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, it's streaming. All
right.
We're on the internet.
Live from the industrial wastelands of Michigan to the fruited plains of Iowa, this is the American Greed Factory.
Why relate to its chip of it?
You are the dead. Remain exactly where you are. Make no move until you are ordered.
We burn them to ashes and then burn the ashes. That's our official motto.
Now we can see you. Clasp your hands behind your heads. Stand out in the middle of the room. Stand back to back.
Who can explain the fascination of fire? What draws us to it, whether we're young or old?
Here comes a candle to light you to bed. Here comes a chopper to chop off your head.
And welcome to the American Greed Factory podcast. This is Nathan.
This is Conlon from the fruited plains of Georgia.
Yeah, the rusty red plains of Georgia. How close are you to the hurricane?
Shouldn't be far. I mean, I guess I'm not. No, I shouldn't be close at all. And that's what I mean.
So yeah, it's hitting Galveston, I think.
It's in Texas, right?
Corpus Christi.
Yeah.
So basically, where all our fuel is made, refined, and stored. So
oh yeah.
Gas prices will be going up. That's really the main story here.
How does this affect you?
Yes, how is this going to impact me personally? Well, this is yet another case of people living on the redneck Riviera, but some part of it, getting everything wiped out, and everyone else in the country's home and property insurance going up to pay to rebuild it all. Because you live in a place. I've never lived in a place where it's like, Nathan, this is a great place to live. You're going to love it here. It's great schools, good people. Every 7 years, it gets destroyed. It's like, what? I don't think I want to live in that place. It's like, yeah, it's nice to see the water, except when Satan's arm comes in. I've never got why people live in places where shit like that can happen. And this will be the worst thing since Hugo if their predictions are right. So it's going to do some serious damage, supposedly. We don't know. But they're, they got FEMA camps set up for everyone. And that's good.
Yeah. Everyone loves FEMA.
Yeah, they do a great job. From what I hear. So there'll be lots of big screen TVs being looted. Yeah. So that's what's going on in Texas.
Yeah, it's a big state. There's a lot of things going on.
What else is going on in the world? Well, nothing we need to talk about here. But New York Times, read it.
There is something else going on. Matt shot me this. They're apparently doing a TV series, sort of based on Robert Rodriguez when he made El Mariachi. So they're making a Rebel Without a Crew TV show. And they're taking applications right now, and they're going to shoot a documentary of someone trying to make a movie for $7,000.
That should be fun.
It's
Mexico?
Huh?
In Mexico?
Austin, Texas.
Austin, Texas. Okay.
He's from Texas. But
didn't he shoot El Mariachi in Mexico?
Yeah, he did shoot it in Mexico because he got it more for his budget. Well, he had family in that town, and he basically had access to that whole town. So that's where he really stretched his budget. It's like, oh, you have a bus? I'm like, cool, we're gonna do this stunt.
Everyone show up. That's actually not a bad movie either. I've watched that.
No. I also shot it on videotape, but then he transferred it to film. And it was cost $7,000 to shoot and edit it on videotape, but then it cost $35,000 to transfer it to film. and then they put it in Sundance, and then somebody bought it for like $100,000 or whatever, and then they put it out on video, and it's made money. It's made its money back.
Yeah, what was the remake of that called? The one with Banderas?
Desperado.
Yeah. That has a lot of memorable scenes in it.
Oh yeah, that one's great. This one's like, hey, this guy, like, this is what this guy did with $7,000. Let's say I'm gonna give him $3 million. He makes a movie that basically now would be like a $50 million movie.
That was the first time I remember Danny Trejo.
Yeah.
And that guy was a total badass. It's like everyone in that movie had machine guns. This guy makes knives seem more intimidating because he's just throwing knives at people constantly.
Yeah.
That was, and then what's the other cool scene in that? Oh, where he's jumping backwards off the roof, shooting at somebody.
Yeah. And just like the guys with the suitcases with machine guns and rocket launchers in them.
Yeah. Striking a pose and firing a rocket from a banjo case. That's it.
But anyways, yeah, so the TV show is going to be called Rebel Without a Crew, if it ever happens. But yeah, I don't think they're concerned with whoever gets chosen. I don't think they're concerned with what movie they're making. I think they're concerned with, hey, let's capture someone going insane trying to make a movie.
I couldn't imagine what kind of movie you could make for $7,000 unless it was two people in a room having a conversation.
Well, I mean, so I read through it because I'm going to apply for it. Yeah. So they're going to provide equipment, which that's like the biggest hurdle to any like independent filmmakers, equipment. So if you can get a hold of like a Red One camera and like learn how to shoot it, like you can make some pretty cheap movies, like fairly look decent.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Have to see. But also, like, you have to shoot it in Austin, Texas. You can only shoot it in pre-released locations. And you have to use non-union actors.
Oh, okay. That's nice.
So there's the stipulation. And you also have to have your own work. So you have to have a script ready that you own yourself to produce.
Okay.
It's kind of like I know a horror movie I can make for $7,000, but I haven't written it yet. So
therein lies the rub.
So the only one I have right now is my zombie movie, which I don't really think I can make for $7,000. But fuck it, I'm not doing anything with it.
Try this out. Is that the one where they're making power tools and shit into?
Yeah.
Like they're trapped in a hardware store?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I do remember that.
But yeah, Matt sent me that leak, so they're casting that out right now. I think it's supposed to start shooting in November. Oh, you also have 14 days to shoot the movie.
Oh, okay. This is going to be a high drama show.
Yeah. I mean, that's how it was with Project Greenlight, but this is even more constricted. Dropped out for a second, or at least on mine.
Yeah. Yeah, we both did. I said it's going to be like the indie film Heart of Darkness.
Well, they had those 3 Project Greenlight series, but like they had more money than that. I'm not exactly sure.
I remember watching. Which was the one where the Battle of Shaker Heights was filmed?
That was the second one.
Or
with Shia LaBeouf.
Second one, okay, that's the one I've seen.
The first one was like, I can't remember, it was like something summer or whatever about a kid who's dying. And then the third one was like, because the first 2 were like on HBO or something, I think, or Showtime or some shit. And the third one was on Bravo, and that's when they made a horror movie. And that was the only one that actually kind of like made them money, because they made like 3 sequels to that movie.
Is that The Feast?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's pretty much the only good one. I mean, Battle Shaker Heights is alright, but the first one isn't very... It's like... It's very... I
High
don't know.
School Drama Club.
No, the first one with the kid dying or whatever. I don't
Yeah.
know the word for it, but it's like they wanted to do something special and they made something boring.
Oh, it's just boring and cliched.
I don't know if it's cliched, but I mean they chose it for a reason. But like you can see like the first 2 seasons, like well we want to choose important movies that would never get made in the studio system, and the third movie is why don't we choose a genre movie that's fun?
Which was the one where Matt Damon got accused of being a
I don't know.
because one of the projects was this black lady wanted to do a movie about something, and Matt Damon was basically like, "Yeah, you have to do something interesting that's going to engage a lot of people." Or I forget what the deal was there.
Yeah, those first ones are interesting because they made a lot of very political decisions where it's like they obviously wanted to promote somebody different than the usual. It's like, well, here's some white guy with some ideas.
Yeah. Well, good luck with that. I hope you get that.
Yeah, no, it won't happen. I looked at the thing that they want photos and stuff. It's like, oh, they want somebody eccentric, so it'll be interesting when they fall apart while making this movie.
Yeah. Yeah. They don't want someone who's going to be like, okay, here's the problem. I'm going to come up with a solution. No, they want someone that's going to just disintegrate on film.
Yes.
It's like, oh, it's been my dream my whole life to do this.
Exactly.
Oh. Yeah.
They don't want like some even keel like solutions. Like, well, this is a problem. Let's think about it.
You know, we can build a set or no
building a set. You got $7,000. There'll be no set building.
Simple set.
Yeah. I wonder how like actually constricted that would be because like you have to assume because they're filming a documentary. It's like the documentary crew is gonna have more equipment and budget than the movie they're filming.
Yeah, that sounds
like.
This sounds about as poorly thought out as the concept.
I mean, it's on the El Rey network, so yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think it's. I mean, it seems like there's a sort of a numbers game you can just see on the surface. It's like, okay, we give some contestant $7,000, and we film them making the movie for like I don't know $50,000 or something like that, and then like fucking maybe 100,000 people watch it. Maybe it's like it's just pure numbers at that point.
Yeah, they're just
And if it takes off, and if it takes off, you can have another season. Or if it's terrible, like it never even makes air. Like who cares? It's like you spent $57,000 on a TV pilot,
which is pretty cheap even for a pilot.
Yeah.
That should be that should be interesting. You have to tell me when and if that comes on.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, I mean, I won't be chosen, but I'll try. Why not?
Be eccentric.
Yeah.
Be avant-garde.
Go
for claymation.
Yeah, I have to like read through the contract again to see like how straight because there was watching the Red Letter Media guys and they just reviewed a horror movie that came out, that Annabelle Creation movie, and so the guy who directed that movie, you ever seen that clip, like that short film on the internet where like the lady keeps turning off the light and you see kind of a dark figure in the darkness every time she turns the lights off and then she turns it back on and it's gone?
Oh yeah.
So like that guy made that short, and he made a bunch of other shorts too. So they gave him like this directing job. And so they had some film contest associated with the movie where it's like, hey, you take a shot at trying to, you shoot a short, and then we'll give you a chance to make a movie. And then so basically the guarantee is that you'll get a chance to talk to some executive. Like you'll get a meeting, and even that's not guaranteed. And then when you enter the contest, basically all of your intellectual property immediately becomes theirs.
Oh, okay.
And if they don't want to use you to make it and they want to make it themselves, they're free to do so, and they only have to compensate you $50. What was the last thing you heard?
Totally froze up. If you don't want to make it, they have the right to make the property.
Yeah, and they only have to give you $50. If they option it, they only have to give you $50. Make it, they only have to give you an additional $50.
Oh, that sounds weird. That sounds like a typical thing.
So that's, yeah. So I read through the contract for this.
Speaking of.
Are we just out of sync?
Yeah, way out of sync. I don't know what's going on here. Let me see. No, it's not on my end.
Yeah, it's probably on my end. The internet's getting pretty... The bars are getting pretty low.
Yeah. I might have to go audio only on this one.
Yeah, I'll switch to audio for me.
Okay. That might help.
Where were we? Oh yeah, so I read some of the contract for this contest, and most of it was that stuff I was telling you about, where it's like it has to be shot in Austin and pre-release locations with non-union actors and stuff like that. So nothing seems too terrible, like they're just going to steal your intellectual property for themselves, but I'll have to reread it because I'm pretty sure some.
It's Neil Blomkamp and his team.
Yeah,
So
it looks very.
Sometimes it has a very down feel.
Yeah, they all have a very District 9 feel.
Yeah. So interesting. It's always exciting when a new one comes out. But yeah, I'd say the best one is probably.
Okay.
That almost seemed like a video game type deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was kind of interesting, and it also has a whole alternate universe thing going on too.
What do you mean?
Well, because it's set, it starts off and you're like, oh, okay, this is the Vietnam War. It opens up like that, and then there's this thing called the River God, which you really got to watch it. It tells a different story, but they have like casualty reports about they were in this valley and like 10,000 troops were killed and like 4,000 pieces of machinery were lost, and it's like, when the fuck did this happen supposedly? But then one of the soldiers has like the one guy that survived the attack of this River God thing, he has this weird kind of flash sideways about, because he seems to remember because he's badly burnt, and he seems to remember being burned up by these weird looking MiGs that land vertically and just shoot flames all over an Air Force base in America. And it's like, what the hell's this guy? Where is this happening? And then it seems like the level of technology is a little higher than what it would be for the Vietnam era, because some of the equipment they give the guy at the end of the short, it's like 30 minutes long.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, this is kind of sort of Metal Gear in a way where they sort of up tech everything, and when they go into the different eras, it's like, oh, okay, they're throwing some things at the wall here, but that was yeah, it's pretty cool. I look forward to those. I forget when I started watching those a couple months ago, but so they do occasionally things will pop up, these weirdly supposed to be humorous but kind of grim, almost QVC type infomercials where they're selling products that are just wild, dangerous, and obviously destructive. It's like, what the hell?
So they're just putting this out there is like, because like I've seen them, but there's like they're not asking for money or anything, or is there, are they Patreon or anything like that, or is it just stuff out there?
I think putting stuff out there. I think they're looking for. I think Neil Blomkamp's looking for a parole from director's jail, so they're putting stuff out there to be like, hey, look, we can still, because it's Oats Studios, which is his group.
Okay.
And it's like, yeah, we can still do a lot of cool stuff.
I mean, they made a lot of like.
Maybe we won't lose 30 or 40.
The last movie I remember that they shot in South Africa was Dread. That was really good. Or didn't they shoot some of RoboCop in South Africa?
I'm not sure. I know Dread was really good.
Yeah.
It's been more popular than it was.
I think it's had like a good following. They're gonna try to make a TV show, and Carl Urban might come back as Dread, although I doubt it.
Yeah, I don't know. He doesn't seem like a TV show kind of guy.
No, but like you never think any of those people are until they all get like, well, I guess they're in their 50s. They might as well be on TV for the next 8 years.
Yeah, got to keep the money. Well, Star Trek's pretty much done.
Yeah.
Yeah, no more bone. So you might as well do the Dread TV show. I was rewatching that a couple weeks ago.
What?
I forgot what a cool movie this was.
Oh, Dread. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, just like perfectly encapsulates that. Is like, yep, that's that world.
Yeah. I also just like the idea of slow-mo as it's like, oh, it's a drug, but then it also gives us an excuse to do a camera trick.
Yeah.
And then it totally pays off at the end.
Yeah. It does.
You're gonna die a slow death.
Everyone that. Yeah, we're gonna throw you off a building, but it's gonna seem to take a long time. It's kind of like you being sucked into the singularity. But yeah, I don't think about that movie is everyone. It was very well cast. Like everyone was good in their role.
Yeah.
Carl Urban was good as Dread, who's a super static character. I mean, he makes Batman look like warm and inviting. and Nina was really good as Mama.
Yeah.
Just a true demented person. It's like, I know how I'm going to kill this guy. We're going to get rotary machine guns and just kill all kinds of people. Just going to fire into a inhabited part of this building and look happy the whole time we're doing it. She's good at playing evil. She's always was good at Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And then I forget who played the rookie. What was her name?
Yeah, I can't remember. She's more of a genre actor. She hasn't really done anything big that I can remember, but you can look it up on Internet Movie Database.
Yeah, if anyone's interested. I got excited. I saw an ad the other day. I didn't. Close Encounters is coming to theaters again.
Oh yeah,
they're remaking it or something. Yeah, I thought it was like, oh, they're doing a remake of Close Encounters, but no,
it's just it's just a remaster of the original, I think. For whatever.
Yeah, that's still one of the coolest movies.
I don't think I've seen that movie. I don't think I've ever watched it like from beginning to end though.
Oh, get the director's cut with all the shit in it. It was like 3.5 hours. Cool. I mean, it's really well thought out.
Yeah.
It's like a goofy premise, sort of. It's like aliens, but it's the way they do it it's really engaging, and it's kind of like, oh, if there was a government conspiracy and we knew about aliens, and of course this is very much in the 70s and early 80s, but it's like, yeah, this would be like, people would think like this and do things like this and try to comprehend it in some way. It's really cool that way, instead of just being dark and conspiratorial. But
I just always remember, I always remember that movie being like Mashed Potato Mountain and the end where they're playing the piano with the ship.
Yeah.
And then like
Yeah.
some.
The
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I was yeah. Like all the deleted scenes kind of flesh out the story a lot more.
Yeah.
There's a lot more stuff with the French guy, the Americans, and the science teams that are trying to like discover what this means and all that.
But there's like that scene where I started watching it from the beginning ones, and there's the abduction scene in the beginning, but there's also like all those ships in the desert. Like that was like a really cool scene. I had no idea it was in that movie.
Oh yeah, yeah, because they find they're like some kind of World War II fighters, and they're all in the desert in Mexico somewhere.
Yeah,
and everyone's like, yeah, and they start reading the serial numbers and everything off of them, and they're like, yep, these are the ones that we're missing. And the guy's like, so what's so unique about them? And the guy said, they're fucking brand new. These are, at that time, would have been like 40-year-old planes. It's like, these things are brand new. That's not possible. That's which was kind of a cool intel, because the one guy didn't get. It's like, okay, so they're here. What does this mean? It's like these things were made 6 months ago. It's there's a lot of stuff like that in there.
Yeah,
and none of it's ever really explained, but it's just like, because it's
there.
aliens. It's like they have a technology we don't understand. But I watch that again. But I might. Seen the new international trailer for Blade Runner 2049?
No, I've been kind of like hanging back on the trailers because I just have it be more of a surprise.
Because of why I did cut out again.
Oh, to have it be more of a surprise. Like, I don't need to see more reveals of what's in that movie. I'm just going to go see that movie.
Well, I was kind of surprised because from the tone and the tempo of the trailer, and there weren't really a lot of new scenes revealed. There was some new dialogue, but it's like, is this an action movie? This seems a lot more like an action movie now. I thought it would be like, because the original Blade Runner was just a long, contemplative series of great sets and scenes, but it's not really what I'd call an action movie.
No, it's also
this one's looking a lot like an action movie.
Also, the original Blade Runner was an independent production and on a pretty shoestring budget for what it was.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of those sets were reused. Like, they had like 3 sets. They turned shit upside down and painted it black to make it another set.
Yeah, and threw water and shot it at night.
Yeah. And all the effects were in-camera effects for that movie. It was
now that must be the apex movie.
Yeah, that was the last. That was like pretty much the last in-camera effects movie made like that. Because it's just really time-consuming, but it's cheaper.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it's kind of interesting to see where that's going to go.
Yeah, I mean, like, I like the director. Like, I was, like I said about his stuff, is always like it's 10 scenes. Every scene's really good, but it might not have like a conclusion or a through line. But it's gonna be neat to watch.
Yeah, makes you wonder where they're going.
But Ridley Scott's not involved, so you got like maybe a 60% chance this will be good rather than like a 40% chance.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know what happened to Ridley Scott. Did he just have a long string of luck and he wasn't really ever that good, or is he just kind of gotten crazy in his old age? Or,
well, I mean, no, he's a really good director, but I think there's like I think as of late, except for The Martian. Martian's great. I think he got caught in like he wants to keep making $100 million movies, but he can only do that if he is like doing remakes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's why he like, well, we're gonna cut up in this Alien franchise, but I don't want to do Alien. It's like, well, we're only gonna give you $100 million to make Alien. So all right, we're gonna make Prometheus, and it's only gonna sort of be Aliens. And then he got burned making that. What was that? I can't even remember the something movie, and it was like a. The guy who wrote The Road, Cormac McCarthy novel.
Oh yeah, what was that one?
Like The Prosecutor or some shit like that. Oh, it was not.
Oh yeah, or Brad Pitt got strangled by that weird device.
I don't know if that was Brad Pitt. I think that's who's the guy who played the robot in Prometheus? Because he's in that.
Oh, Fassbender?
Yeah, Fassbender's in that as some evil person. Somebody gets like decapitated, like riding a motorcycle, and there's like a wire they set up, and somebody gets decapitated. I think that happened. That's in the trailer or whatever.
Oh, okay.
But I never heard good things about that movie, and I heard it was fairly expensive. And yeah, the new Alien movie basically bombed too. So.
Yeah, they say that's done. That's and I actually went to the theater and saw that, and I was like, "This is a lot better than Prometheus."
Yeah.
I guess it didn't.
Well, I don't know the final returns on it, but the last thing I saw, it made like $79 million, and I was like, "Oh, that's not even making your money back."
No.
But who knows? China's weird.
Yeah. What was the Counselor? Was that movie?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was the one that had Javier Bardem.
Yeah.
That only cost $25 million.
Oh, okay. So I guess that wasn't too much cost for them.
They made 70, but I don't know what they paid to advertise it though.
Yeah. Huh. I always thought that movie was just considered a bomb, but I guess not. Usually Ridley Scott makes like $20 million himself when he makes a picture like that.
He really made bank on The Martian, I heard.
Oh yeah. Like, I mean that got tons of money. It was in theaters forever. Consistently stayed in the top 10 and got Oscars, so like that was hugely successful for him. But I think this year killed sci-fi movies. Or did I already talk about this?
I don't know if we've talked about this. This doesn't sound familiar.
Like Ghost in the Shell bombed, that Life movie bombed, that Valerian movie didn't do well. So I don't think we're gonna see, and Alien Covenant didn't do that well. So I think there's gonna be a pushback on sci-fi movies.
Yeah, well, rom-coms will be the new thing.
Yeah. And whatever young adult series is hot and new.
Well, and then we'll always have the superhero franchises.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Hey, when the hell's Thor coming out?
November.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was kind of thinking like, well, it's August, so that's all the shitty movies, but I know Thor's still coming out. Okay, no, that makes sense, I guess.
A lot of stuff got bumped around Blade Runner like that. There was a lot of stuff that got pushed, that got moved, that got it because no one wanted to go up against that. So, because that's what happened to the Southern
I don't know why anybody would get out of the way of Blade Runner.
Oh, it has a lot of weight now as a franchise. I mean, it depends.
Yeah, but it still has. I mean, I don't know. It still hasn't proven itself as like a box office success.
That depends on how good the movie is.
I don't know how
buzz around.
I don't know. Maybe that Blu-ray sold a fuck ton, and I just never looked at like the sales of that.
Oh, it did. I have it. I have fucking crazy Blade Runner shit, like movie. I have like the metal box set and the Blu-ray set. And,
Yeah.
Got all that nonsense. I think you even bought me one of them.
Maybe, I
I
don't know.
don't remember.
Um,
Yeah, Alien Covenant domestic total was 74 million. Global total is 230 million.
oh, I guess it made money then.
But-
There you go.
Based on well, no, the advertising for that was quite expensive because that was everywhere. David was popping out of people's Happy Meals. I mean, there was a bunch of advertising for Covenant, so I think his like big huge losers was like the Robin Hood one.
Yeah,
Prometheus was disappointing,
but it made
Exodus
money.
got
Oh
was-
yeah,
failure. That was that just dropped dead. I think that's like 12% on Rotten Tomatoes or something. Now he made a really cool medieval movie, which I think the people that do Game of Thrones borrowed a lot of the look of it. Was Kingdom of Heaven.
yeah,
That was actually a really good movie.
and a better Blu-ray
Yeah.
because it has all the cutscenes and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like that movie. You know, I don't know if we're on a Ridley Scott wormhole. There's a movie of his that he did that no one really ever. You don't hear much about.
White Squall.
Yeah, that's a fucking good movie. It's not a great movie,
Yeah.
but it's a good movie. I mean, every time I see it, if I pass it on TV, it's like I'll watch it to the end.
Yeah.
It's like I remember this. It's a cool idea. It's kind of a weird.
What is it? I just
kind of
know
a
I just know it's like Jeff Bridges in a boat in a storm, right?
What? Yeah, it's Jeff Bridges runs like a school boat, and it's for high school and college kids. I don't know if they're not like troubled kids; it's like rich kids, and they go and have an adventure for several months. And Jeff Bridges is like the captain, and he's real strict, and his wife's kind of the nicer person, but I forget what the ship's called. It's like a bird or something. It's not the Pequod. That's from Moby Dick. Oh, it's this albatross.
Okay, yeah.
And this there's this weird phenomenon where basically I don't know what happens. The air sucks the sea up, but it just creates a wall of water. It's called a white squall, and it's a real thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's ever been filmed or whatever, but it will definitely sink your boat because it's just going to suck it up and slam it down with all this tons of water on top of it. And that's what happens to this. And so anyway, all these parents are loaded, and this boat sinks. And a lot of people die. And of course, the parents of some of these dead kids, they push and push and push to get this guy locked up because they're like, well, you fucked up and killed our kids. And but in the end, the kids that lived through, they had some tradition on the boat where they'd ring a bell or something. I don't forget it all. But it's the people that lived through it basically came to court and testified and said he did everything he could to keep us alive. This was just a freak accident, and he ends up being let go. But yeah, it's a really good movie, and the scene where the ship is sinking, and it's like graphic, but it's really well done. It's based on a true story.
Oh,
because
okay.
it's set in 70s or something.
Oh, I didn't know
Not
that.
set in like, yeah.
Huh.
Based on a true story.
Yeah.
I don't know how
How
much
about-
of that is.
I'm also always so surprised that he directed Thelma and Louise, which doesn't seem in his
Yeah, that's-
wheelhouse.
I don't know if he did that so he could make the.
Well, I think that was like kind of
Because then he made
that was like that.
Columbus movie after that or something.
Yeah, because I think Thelma and Louise was like his return after director's jail from Blade Runner. I think I can't remember. He did like that Black Rain movie and stuff like that. I think he kept making movies that weren't making money, and so he had to do like an indie movie sort of with Thelma and Louise, or just a cheaper movie. And then I think he did that Columbus movie afterwards because that Thelma and Louise was a big success, and then that Columbus movie kind of failed, and then he did like G.I. Jane, and then he didn't really come back in the limelight till Gladiator. That's when they started giving him huge money again.
Yeah, because he did that, and he did Black Hawk Down. He did one of the Hannibal Lecter movies.
Yep.
Oh, he did Legend. I always forget. Like, he did Legend. And Someone to Watch Over Me.
I don't even know what that is. That's some drama.
Oh, yeah, it's an '87 crime thriller. It's got Tom Berenger in it.
Huh? I never heard of that.
I don't know anything else about it.
I do remember Black Rain. Visually interesting, but not really a great movie.
No.
It might have been more interesting at the time for like the cultural stuff you learn. It was like, well, I never knew this about Japan or something like that. But today it just doesn't really necessarily seem that interesting.
Yeah. Michael Douglas was in there.
Yep, and Andy Garcia. Dude cuts his head off driving a motorcycle with a katana.
That's right. Yeah, I remember that now. Because the Black Rain was the rain that fell after the bombing of Hiroshima, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that what the name of the film?
Okay. Yeah. It has some whole thematic meaning. Like the guy he's teamed up with, it explains it pretty explicitly in the movie.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, this isn't just a neat title. It has very specific meaning.
Oh, and then what's the Matchstick Men? I don't really remember.
He directed that? I thought that was that fucking huh. I thought that was the Pirates of the Caribbean dude.
Oh,
Gore Verbinski. Yeah. I now because I now remember it's like because that and Weathermen came out at the same time, and they're both kind of weird, quirky movies that look kind of the same. They have that kind of saturated, silvery look to them.
Yeah.
And Matchstick Men was all right. It's just kind of a con man movie that was visually interesting, but not necessarily storily or characterly that strong.
Oh, okay.
But the
Black Hawk Down was good, but that was based on very strong source material too.
Yeah. But it was also like an R-rated $200 million movie.
Yeah. Well, Black Hawk Down's kind of like that. Put that in the same category as everyone's like, that's an awesome movie. It's like, or when people like, yeah, No Country for Old Men, that's an awesome movie. And I said, yeah, almost anyone probably could have directed those movies and not fucked it up based on the strength of the source material. But okay, I mean, but they both really envision, because I've read both the books many times on both of those. Actually, No Country for Old Men, I think, almost rivals The Return of the King for books I've read the most that I'll reread. But yeah, that movie pretty closely follows both those movies, Black Hawk Down and I was almost said Return of the King. No Country for Old Men pretty much follow the source material exactly. So.
Yeah,
not exactly, close enough to where it's like, oh, this is this.
They use the source material effectively.
Yeah, well, and because it's so strong. But yeah, that's a movie everyone should see at least once.
But yeah. What were we talking about? Just Ridley Scott movies. Surprising Ridley Scott movies.
Yeah.
I don't know. Does he have anything on his docket next? What he's doing next?
He's doing a historical thing about John Paul Getty called All the Money in the World.
Okay.
When they were trying to, somebody kidnapped one of his relatives and tried to extort him, and he was like, "Yeah, fuck you, I'm not doing it." But I don't know anything more about it than that.
And Kevin Smith announced another movie that will never get made.
Yeah, probably.
It showed up on something like Kevin Smith making another Jay and Silent Bob movie, and I was like, he hasn't directed a movie since Yoga Hosers, but you look at his page and it's like 8 movies are announced and 1 is filming. And I don't even know what
What's he doing? He's doing something.
What's that?
Directing Supergirl episodes or something.
Yeah, he does some TV stuff, but yeah. So the one he's filming, I never even heard of. I don't know the concept. I think you were telling me about it. At some point, like I don't even know the origin of it. It's like Kilroy or something like that.
Oh, okay.
And at some point, he's supposed to make Moose Jaws, which is like the completion of the Canadian trilogy. Between Tusk.
Canadian, what you beeped at me? What'd you say?
It's like a Canadian trilogy between Tusk and Yoga Hosers, and then it's supposed to end in Moose Jaws. Because it's like the what is it? Oh yeah, it's like all these movies they basically like created on the spot in the podcast, and like, yeah, we should make that, and then they fucking went and made it. But I don't think they're gonna make that best one, which is like the Boxing Jesus movie or something like that.
Oh yeah, the one where someone has to box the Second Coming.
Yeah. I
forget what. I always like those Smotimations ones.
Yeah.
They made off of those. I don't know what happened to those. You don't see those anymore.
I haven't been in the Smodcast universe for years, so I don't know anything that they're doing.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure Kevin Smith still has like 10 or 13 or 20 podcasts. And
I'm sorry, you cut out again. What did you say?
Kevin Smith still has like 13 different podcasts. So.
Oh, are they still doing the whole Smodcast universe?
I'm pretty sure.
Hello?
I'm here.
Oh,
I'm just waiting for you.
Well, the thing is, I'm hearing you, and then you don't say anything, and then I start to talk, and then you talk.
Oh.
I think we might have to pull the plug on this. The connection has gotten so bad now. It's like I'm schizophrenic.
Oh, okay. Because I have like full bars here now, so I don't know what the problem is.
It's like every 5th word drops out now, and it just started doing it like 10 minutes ago, and I was keep waiting for it to get better.
All right, well, that's fine. So we'll just end the show now.
Okay, can you hear me? Okay, I can hear you. Oh, sorry for the internet. I don't. Yeah, because I'm showing like full strength.